Am I audible, right?
So now you're audible.
What's going on? Okay. Just quickly going through the railings of Sanchi Stupa, which was a timber construction. Then one of the important site at Sanchi Stupa is the temple number 7, which is in front of which is in front of the palm tree, and this temple that is of the great importance. I'm just highlighting these because these are also related to the questions. So the temple number 7 is most important because this might be a Hindu temple, possibly the very first. It is the overall plan is very simple, cubical building with a porch in front. Okay, so this is the temple number 17 of Sanchi, which belongs to 400 to 450 CE. Again, temple number 17 you are seeing. Again, this is the example of Udayagiri, which consists of number of groups of caves and other rock-cut caves and structures. Then the Shavatar temple at the place called Devgarh in Madhya Pradesh. This is also one of the example of early temples. Then coming to the Parvati temple at a place called Nachna in Nachna. Okay. So this is also one of the example of Hindu temple. So now coming to the sacrificial altars and the divine shelters. So in this we will learn about the temples of Vedic sacrifices which are related to the Vedic sacrifices. Other temples are for housing the idols of gods, and other are for the prayers. So again some religious temples related to Shiva. So this is the example of Shivalinga. Again of Shivalinga one. You might have gone through these lectures. I'm just recapping it in 5 minutes, and then we will go through the question answers. Okay, so at Kumharar in Bihar, so some seals and plates were found, which is supposed to be of 3rd century BCE. So there we can see the Buddhist temple at Bodh Gaya, which was represented on these seals for the very first time. So these are the examples of caves and altars. Okay. Okay, I think this is the end of this lecture. Okay, so the forms of temple, the great temple of the lecture number 4 we are here. So there are various forms of temples. The first is the Latina temple. You might have learned about the Latina temple, which is built in the Nagara style of temple architecture. And so this belongs to the North Indian temple architecture. So it has been derived from the word Lata, which means creeper. So these are the temple architecture belonging to Latina style. Then after that we have Kutina style, which is a Dravidian temple architecture belonging to the South Indian temples. Fine. Then Shekhari styles of temple buildings in which the complicated plan of the sanctum is manifested in equally complicated ways. So these are the Shekhari styles found mainly in the western part of Indian subcontinent. And the Kutina is found in the southern temples, Kutina style. Okay, so these are the examples of Mahabalipuram. So Rath-shaped temples at Mahabalipuram showing the architecture of different forms. Okay, so Mahabalipuram is not a monolithic structure. It is constructed. It is not constructed in a single rock, but it is constructed through several boulders interlocking after interlocking them. Fine. Okay. So this example, this picture is of Brihadeshwara temple of Tanjavur, which was built by Raja Raja Chola in 1010 CE. Again, the Meenakshi temple. Okay, so let's stop here. So this was the end of the first week lectures. Okay, and just stop. Okay, so good morning, everyone. So this is the NPTEL course on Introduction to History of Architecture in India, and the course coordinator is Professor Pushkar Sohni from Department of Humanities and Social Science, ISER Pune, and myself, the teaching assistant, a PMRF scholar from Department of Architecture and Planning, IIT Roorkee. Okay, so let us go through the questions of previous year's assignments. Okay, so the question number 1 is the Mauryan Ashokan column were inspired by. Okay, so the Mauryan Ashokan columns are inspired by which of the following? The options are large trees, ruins of Persepolis, or Mount Meru, or Tower of Victory. Yeah, which is the correct answer? Okay, so the answer is ruins of Persepolis. So the Ashokan columns are inspired by the ruins of Persepolis. So these are the Persepolis ruins. So the column structures, the Ashokan column structures have got their inspiration from these columns. These are also stone, built in stone. Question number 2, the earliest extant freestanding temple at Sanchi is known as. The options are Temple 17 from early 5th century CE, Temple 30 from 8th century CE, or Temple 64 from 500 BCE, or Virupaksha temple from 200 CE. The question is saying the earliest extant freestanding temple at Sanchi, which of the following is the correct answer? Is it Temple 17 or Temple 30 from 8th century CE? Actually, Temple 17 belongs to the Sanchi. So is it Temple number 17 or Temple 30, Temple 64, or Virupaksha temple from 200 BCE? So the correct answer is Temple number 30, 17 from the early 5th century CE. So this is the photograph of that. So this is a cubical temple. It doesn't have any shikhara, and front porch is there, a colonnaded structure. So this is the earliest extant freestanding temple. Question number 3, the following temple is not monolithic. So which of the following is not a monolithic? Is it Kailash temple at Ellora, or Arjuna Rath at Mamalapuram, or Shore temple at Mamalapuram, or Cave 5 at Elephanta? So it is saying which of the following temple is not monolithic. Actually, Kailash temple at Ellora is monolithic. It is cut out from the single rock or the hill. And again, the Arjuna Rath at Mamalapuram, Shore temple at Mamalapuram, or cave number 5 at Elephanta. Again, we at Elephanta we can see the monolithic structures. So the answer is Shore temple at Mamalapuram. Yeah, so this is built by assembling the pieces of rocks, means the cut pieces from the stones. So question number 4, the earliest excavated cave architecture in India dates to. The options are 1000 BCE to 500 BCE, or 300 to 200 BCE, or 100 to 200 CE, or 200 to 500 CE. So what is the correct answer for this? The earliest excavated cave architecture in India. So the earliest excavated cave architecture in India belongs to 300 to 200 BCE. Question number 5. The two main types of temple superstructures are Latina and Kutina. Option B is Kutina and Vesara. Option C is Latina and Bhumija. And option D is Kaling and Kutina. So what would be the correct answer? Will it be Latina and Kutina? Okay, there is an interesting option. Option number D, Kaling and Kutina. Actually, Kaling is not a temple superstructure type. The earlier name of Odisha was Kalinga. We find mention of Kalinga during the Mauryan Empire, Ashoka, the battle fought between Ashoka and Kalinga. So we have the other three options, which are Latina and Kutina, Kutina and Vishara, and Latina and Bhumija. So the options A, B, and C. So it is talking about which of the following is the two main types of temple superstructure. So the answer is Latina and Kutina. Actually, Latina belongs to the northern Indian temple structure style, that is the Indian Sikhara, that is the top or the spire of the Sikhara. Fine. So the characteristic is it is a single slightly curved tower with four sides of equal length, thus square in plan. And it is found in the northern part of the Indian subcontinent. And Kutina is from the southern temple structure, means architecture, and it has consists of stepped stories, each of which simulates the main story and is conceived as having its own wall enclosed by a parapet. Okay, so question number 6. A Hindu temple is a shelter of divinity or a model of heaven, a place of cooking, or a palace for the king. So it is saying the Hindu temple is it the shelter for divinity or the model of heaven or the place for cooking or a palace for the king? Actually, the Hindu temples are not the palace for the king, neither it is a place for cooking. So there is a confusion between A and B. Is it a shelter for divinity or is it a model of heaven? What would be the correct answer? Are the Hindu temples shelter for divinity or are they the model of heaven? So the answer is a shelter for divinity. The Buddhist viharas are meant for what? Are they the palaces of community prayers or the residential arrangements for monks, or is it a necropolis or the depictions of Buddha? A Buddhist vihara are places of community prayer or the residential arrangements for monks, or a necropolis or the depiction of Buddha. What it is? So actually the Buddhist viharas are the residential arrangements for the monks. So in the adjacent figure we can see the bird's eye view of the ruins of Nalanda. So there these small cubicles are the arrangements for the monks who who went there for learning, and so mainly we can say that these were the students. So we can infer that the Buddhist viharas are the residential arrangements for the monks, of course for the Buddhist monks. Okay, coming to question number 8. The Indus Valley civilization was known for brick architecture or the gridiron planning of streets or the planned drainage system with inspection chambers or all of the above. So there are few characteristics given in the options, that is brick architecture. The second is the iron grid planning of streets, or the planned drainage system with inspection chambers. What would be the correct answer of this? Yes, brick architecture is there. Again, the Indus Valley civilization, yeah, is built on the grid iron planning of the streets. Then the planned drainage and sewerage system is found in the Indus Valley civilization settlement. In fact, the brick architecture is the most prominent during the Indus Valley civilization. The bricks used were of a standard size, not only in dimension but in the weights as well. So we can infer that the option D will be correct, as all the three characteristics are the characteristics for which the Indus civilization is known for. So the answer will be option number D, all of the above. So there are few pictures depicting. So the first picture, the topmost picture, depicts the brick architecture, means the walls are built in bricks, built with bricks. Now this picture is showing the proper drainage pattern. This is showing the layout, street layouts, that is following the gridiron pattern. Okay, question number 9. Buddhist architecture before 400 BCE comprised of what? Buddhist architecture before 400 BCE comprised of stupas or a statue of Buddha, or both of the above, or none of the above. Actually, Buddha was born in 564 BC, and the question is talking about the Buddhist architecture before 400 BC. So, roughly around 100 or 150 or 200 years after the Buddha, or after the death of Buddha, the Buddhist architecture came into existence. So, the answer will be none of the above, as before 400 BCE, the Buddhist architecture was not existing. So the answer is none of the above. Okay, question number 10. In which Western India, particularly in Gujarat, Western Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra, a unique type of temple superstructure, which was Kalinga or Shekhari, Bhumija, or Famsana? Which is the correct answer? Obviously, Kalinga will not be the answer, because it is not a temple superstructure type. What about option B, Shekhari temple structure? It is a North Indian Sikhara style with a tower or a spire on the top of the shrine, which comprises of the central Latina spire, or with Urushringa, we can say with Urushringa. What about Bhumija? Actually, the answer is Bhumija. So this is the temple Sikhara style known as Bhumija, which was existed in Gujarat, West Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra. Not the whole Maharashtra, but the northern portion of Maharashtra. Okay, question number 11. So now from here we are starting with the visual questions, means the visual type of questions. So we have to identify these monuments or the temples. So we have to identify the figure. So what is the name of this monument or the structure? Actually, this is a cave, not a natural cave, but it is somehow looking like a cave built or cut out from a hill. So the options are Chaitya at Bhaja, or Vihara at Bhaja, or Chaitya at Ajanta, and Vihara at Ajanta. So what would be the correct answer for this? Yes. The options are Chaitya at Bhaja, or Vihara at Bhaja, Chaitya at Ajanta, or Vihara at Ajanta. What would be the correct answer? Okay, what is Chaitya? Actually, Chaitya refers to a shrine or sanctuary or temple or prayer hall, and normally it is related to Buddhist architecture. Commonly, it is the term used in Buddhist architecture, and it refers to the place with a stupa and rounded apse at the end opposite at the entrance. And it has a high roof with a rounded profile. So we can see here. So the answer is Chaitya at Bhaja. Okay, identify this temple structure. What, Mahabodhi temple? No, no, it is not Mahabodhi. Okay, someone is saying Brihadeshwara temple. Okay, so the options are temple at Anva belonging to 13th century CE, or the Kailashanatha temple of Kanchipuram belonging to 8th century CE, or the Kandaria Mahadev temple of Khajuraho from 11th century CE, or Sun temple Konark of 11th century CE. So what is the answer? It is not Brihadeshwara temple, it is not Mahabodhi temple. Any guesses? What to guess? You need to know this. And you must know this because all these verbal and visual assignments will be there in your assignment section, and it will also be there in your in-term examination. So you should be aware of these temples and structures. So actually this is the Kandaria Mahadev temple of Khajuraho, which is belonging to 11th century CE. Okay, question number 13. It is very easy. Identify this structure. Actually there is a hint. This is a stupa. So now identify this. Anyone? Okay, so these are the options: Sanchi Stupa of 2nd century BCE, Delhi Stupa of 2nd century BCE, or Nagarjuna Konda Stupa of 2nd century BCE, or Kanganhalli Stupa of 2nd century BCE. So the answer is Sanchi Stupa belonging to 2nd century BCE. Okay, one more thing. What is this called? The front portion, means the gateway of this called. Okay, Toran. So the gateway is called Toran. What about this one? This is called Hermika. The upper three circular portions is called Chhatri. Then the dome is known as Anda. Then this portion between means this railing. Actually, this railing is called Vedika, and between the railing and the dome, the space is called Medhi or the Pradakshina Path, right? So this is the Sanchi Stupa belonging to 2nd century BCE. Yeah. Okay, you can see that these green patches. So these green patches gives the evidence that some of the other time it might have a plaster layer on the top of the dome, most of this structure, domical type structure. So this have been abrased or have come out or have been damaged through climatic reason or any environmental reason. Okay, question number 14. Identify this one. This is very easy. I've just discussed in the lecture about this one. So this is the man-made rock cut cave, and again Hint, it belongs to Bihar, means it is situated in Bihar, in southern part of Bihar. Okay. Actually, this is the Barabar cave, which is situated in the Jahanabad district of Bihar state in India. So this is the Barabar cave, and it has several number of caves, around 7 to 8 caves. And in this hill, this small hill, there are two caves. This is first one, and this is the second one. So this one is the most celebrated cave, and this is known as the Lomas Rishi cave. Means Lomas Rishi once used to reside here, and this is most celebrated one. It has very good characteristics like the entrance gateway. It has a beautifully carved entrance gateway, and the interior of this cave, even the gateway is inspired from the hut structure of a thatched hut. So we can see inscriptions on the gateways as well, and the internal or the interior of this cave is well polished, and it is supposed to be in granite stone, and it is well polished surface, and there is a pedestal at one of the end of the cave. So the options are Malabar cave, Ajanta cave, or Barabar cave, or Udaigiri cave. So the answer is Barabar caves. It belongs to 3rd century BCE. Okay, question number 15. So we have to identify this temple structure again. What is this? Okay. Please identify this. What is this temple structure? So the options are Kailash Temple of Ellora, Brihadeshwara Temple Tanjore, Meenakshi Temple of Madurai, or the Shore Temple Mahabalipuram. Okay. Again, let me say what are the options. The options are Kailash Temple of Ellora, or Brihadeshwara Temple of Tanjore, Meenakshi Temple of Madurai, or the Shore Temple Mahabalipuram. You can see the grandiorness or the monumental scale of this temple. We can see few persons sitting out here, and just imagine what would be the scale of this temple, the massive structure. So can anybody identify this one? Actually, this is Brihadeshwar temple from Tanjore. It belongs to 11th century CE. Okay, question number 16. Again, identify this column. This is a freestanding Ashokan pillar, and not Persepolis. It is not. It doesn't belongs to Persepolis. You can see the landscape and the surrounding out here. So from where it would have been, you can just imagine the landscape. You can see few persons, few women standing here. They might have gathered out here for prayer or something kind like that. And you can see the dressing or anything, the surrounding. the overall view, the scenic view, where it would have belonged to. Okay, let me come to the options. So the options are column at Persepolis of 4th century BCE, or the column from Sarnath of 3rd century BCE, or column at Firoz Shah Kotla of 15th century CE, or the column at Lauria Nandangarh of 3rd century BCE. Let me give one option, not option actually. Let me give a hint. Actually, it belonged to Bihar. This is a freestanding Ashokan column, Ashokan pillar in some parts of Bihar, some place at Bihar, in Bihar state of India. So now it is very easy for you to answer. Of course, it is not Persepolis because Persepolis is not in India. So, of course, it will not be in Bihar. What about Sarnath or Firoz Shah Kotla or Lauria Nandangarh? So, actually, the answer is Lauria Nandangarh. Fine. So, it is the Shokan column at Lauria Nandangarh, which belongs to 3rd century BCE. Okay, now identify this temple structure. Brihadeshwara temple? No. Let me give the options. Is it the palace at Hampi, or the royal stables at Hampi, or the Virupaksha temple at Hampi, or Sun Temple Konark of 3rd century CE? So, what would be the correct answer? Is it the palace at Hampi, or the royal stables at Hampi, or the Virupaksha temple at Hampi, or Sun Temple at Konark of 3rd century CE? Okay, yeah. So it is the Sun Temple at Konark in Odisha state. Okay. Again, so again the same question we have discussed about this temple structure. So identify this one, anyone? Anybody? Without options, can anybody answer? And so this is in Sanchi, correct? Yeah. So, okay. So the options are Temple 39 of Udaigiri, Temple 17 of Sanchi, or Temple 64 of Vidisha, or Vishnu Temple at Devgarh of 4th century CE. Okay. Temple number 39 of Uday. Actually, I have said the answer. It belongs to Sachi. So it is temple number 17 of Sachi, which belongs to 5th century CE. It is not Udaigiri, or it is not the temple number 64 of Vidisha, and it even not belong to Vishnu temple. Okay, question number 19. Again, this is the same question which we have discussed in the verbal assignment belonging to the monolithic and the non-monolithic temple structures. So this is one of the non-monolithic temple structures. It is not built out in single stone, but has been built after the assembling several stones through interlocking method. So what would be the correct answer for this? Okay, let me give the options. So Vishnu temple at Nachna, or Shore temple at Mamalapuram, or Ladkhan temple at Ahiol, or Arjuna Rath Mamalapuram. So what is the correct answer? Is it Vishnu temple of Nachna, or is it Shore temple of Mamalapuram belonging to 6th century CE, or is it Ladkhan temple of Ahiol, or Arjuna Rath of Mamalapuram? So what would be the correct answer for this? So this is Shore temple at Mamalapuram belonging to 6th century CE. Okay, question number 20. This is a bit difficult one. So the options for this are large relief of Ellora, or Jain caves of Udaigiri in Odisha, or Gupta caves of Udaigiri in Madhya Pradesh, or descents of Ganges or Arjuna's penance at Mamalapuram. Yeah, so the answer is descendants of Ganges or Arjuna's penance in Mamallapuram. So this was the end of the first week assignment. This is the assignments from the I think 20 and 21 run of the course from NPTEL. So okay, so let us revise. We have gone through the several questions. We have gone through the Indus Valley, the topics covered in the first week were the early temple architecture, then Buddhist and early temple architecture, again the sacrificial altars and divine shelters, and the great temple. The chronological development were as below: the first, the Indus Valley civilization, then the Vedic culture, megaliths in peninsular India, then the Magad kingdom came into existence, then the birth of Buddha and Mahavira was seen in around 563 and 497 BCE, then the Ashokan stupas and columns, then the representations of temples, chaityas and freestanding temples, then came the Indus Valley civilization. Discussion was there in the first week lectures. There was 3 stages and 3 phases in the Indus Valley civilization: the early period, the mature period, and the late period. And this is the map showing the locations where the Indus Valley civilization flourished. These are few pictures from the Indus Valley settlements. Some seals, then the proper drainage pattern, the brick architecture, then again the gridiron pattern, the toys, the potteries, and then we dealt with the questions and answers. Fine. Okay, everyone. So let me unshare. Okay, so yeah. Okay, let's wait for just 1 or 2 minutes for others to join. Or let me share the screen. Okay, Sarath, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I was at this question. So can you please identify? Yeah, Anshika, you have joined. Thank you. Can you please identify where this column, this is a Ashokan column, Ashokan pillar, and this is, okay, there is a hint, this belongs to Bihar, some or the other place in Bihar. Fine. This belongs to some place from Bihar. Any guesses? Is Persepolis in Bihar? Is Sarnath in Bihar?
Sir, is it option D?
Yeah, correct. Lauria Nandangarh is in Bihar. Okay, identify this monument, this temple structure. Okay, is this boring for you, all of you? Because these types of questions will come in your, it might be there in assignment. Of course, it is there in the assignment, and it will also be there in your in semester, means in term exam. Fine. So you have to identify these questions, these monuments and temples. Okay, let me give you the options. So the options are the palace at Hampi, or the royal stable at Hampi, or Virupaksha temple at Hampi, or Sarnath temple at Konark.
Sir, Sun Temple, Konark.
Okay. So you can just identify, there is a hint. You can see the Sikhara of this temple structure. Does it belong to Nagara style or the Dravidian style? What is Bhumija style or Latina or Kutina? You can just identify the temple structure from that also. So there are few options, means most of the options is from Hampi, means which is in South India, and the temple structure, the Shikhara, doesn't belong to Dravidian architecture, right? So the answer is Sun Temple, Konark. Okay. Okay, again the same question. Identify this structure. So this question was discussed in that verbal assignment, right? Means the optional assignment in which the option was given. Again, there is a hint. It is situated in the Sanchi Stupa complex. Okay, now the options are given. Temple 39 from Udaigiri, or Temple 17 from Sanchi, Temple 64 or Vidisha, or Vishnu Temple at Devgarh in Madhya Pradesh.
Sir, option number B.
Yeah, Temple 17 from Sanchi, right? Correct answer is Temple 17 from Sanchi. Yeah, again the same structure we have discussed in the lecture and the verbal assignment also. There was a question in the multiple choice question about the monolithic and non-monolithic structure. So this question belongs to that. Identify this one. Anyone?
Shore Temple.
Shore Temple of? Which Shore Temple?
Shore Temple of
So Tamil Nadu. Yeah.
No, Tamil Nadu is not the answer. It might be
So,
Tamil Nadu, but the exact
yeah, Mahabalipuram, yes, sir.
Mahabalipuram.
Okay. Anybody else? How many have joined? Let me check. Ansika, Daisy, Sarah, no. Okay. Okay, the options are Vishnu Temple, then Shore Temple at Mamalapuram, Lad Khan Temple at Ahiol, or Arjuna Rath Mamalapuram. So, as per your answer, the correct answer is Shore Temple Mamalapuram, right? Correct. Question number 20. Okay, this one is a bit hard. Identify this one. Let me give options for this. Okay, wait. Anyone? Can anyone identify this one? This structure. Daisy, Asad, Anshika, Rose, Harina, Mohit, Sarath, anyone?
Sir, I'm not sure. Can I see the options?
Yeah, please.
Yes, anything.
Yeah, sure. The large
Yes,
cave from Ellora, Jain caves of Udaigiri, or Gupta cave from Udaigiri, or descent of Ganges or Arjuna penance of Mamalapuram.
So the Center Congress of Arts and Science in Mamalapuram, Tamil Nadu.
Okay. Anybody else? Descent of
Yes, sir. Option
Ganges.
B.
B.
B, sir. Last
B.
option.
Correct. Now option is D. Okay, so we discussed 10 verbal assignments and 10 visual assignments, right? So these were the assignments from the assignment questions of 20 and 21, I guess. Fine. So, any problem till now? And how is your lectures going on, the weekly lectures? So, I think your third week has started, right?
Yes, sir, it is a third week.
Your third week has started, and this is the live session from means related to the first week. Fine. What is the last day of submitting assignment of the first week?
So is it tomorrow?
Okay, tomorrow only. Okay, so after that we will discuss on that also. Fine. Means from next week we will discuss on the first week's assignment, and then we will go accordingly discuss on the other second week assignment. Fine.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Let us conclude now. Okay, so from where you all belong, can we have a quick introduction? Of course, it should be at the start of the session, but anyway. Yeah, starting from Radhimala, you belong to? Hello? Okay, anyone say where you belong from, what you all are doing? Yeah, sir,
Yes, sir.
you are from
Saharanpur.
Saharanpur, UP?
Yes, sir.
Oh, great, very near to me. I know.
Mm-hmm.
It is very near to Roorkee.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Anshika, what are you doing, Asad?
Interior designing.
Oh, since you are doing bachelor's or you have the degree, you are doing some specialization course.
Bachelor degree.
Bachelor degree in interior design from?
Subharti University, Merit.
Okay, okay, great, great, good. What about Anshika?
Sir, I'm from Shamli.
Okay, and what you are doing currently?
I'm doing bachelor in interior designing.
Okay, again interior designing. From?
Yes, from Subharti University.
It's the same university.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. He is my batchmate.
Okay, you are batchmate, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. What about Daisy?
I'm from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
Okay, okay.
I'm a college professor history professor.
Okay, okay, great, great, great. Nice to meet you. Nice. Havila, how to pronounce that? Rose K.
Sir, Havila.
Havila, okay, okay. Sorry. So you are from?
Sir, I'm from Kerala.
Okay,
I'm doing PG in M-Plan, Urban Planning from NIT Bhopal.
okay, from NIT Bhopal. Good, good, good. Good. Okay, Hirina Sisodia.
Yes, sir. So I'm pursuing BSc in interior designing Subharti, Meerut.
Okay, from the same university.
Yes,
So
sir.
you all
Batchmates
are, you
all
all
of
are
us.
batchmates. Okay, great. Mohit? Okay, he's on mute. What about Sarath Johnson? You all please correct me for your pronunciation of the name. What about Sarath? Okay, he's not reachable. Okay, then let us meet in the next class, fine, on next Tuesday. And on again on next Monday, there will be a live session by Vivek Anand. He is also a PMRF scholar from IIT Roorkee itself. And I will be taking the live session on the same course on Tuesday from 6 Fine. Okay then. Bye bye. Have a good week and bye then. Okay. Bye everyone.
Bye.